Huh?
You got some chain for 5? Got chain for 5?
Got it.
Chain me up.
Alright.
Man, get my $5.
Alright, well.
Man, get my $5, man. Get my $5. Get my $5. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Get my motherfucking $5, man. Man, stop fearing me, man. Give me a $5. I'm gonna tell you got it $5. I'm gonna tell you got it $5. I'm gonna tell you got it $5.
Luke chapter 6, verse 25. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Call HALALYAM la YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM QADASH MASHAYACH LAHAMALAAKYAM WAZIQUANYAM SHAL RACHABADAL SHALAM WABARAKYAM AL NAWA ADON NORTZA NACHNO HAYA SHAL HABACHAYAR ZAACHA WAIBAD ARIYA. Just want to go into a lesson dealing with the video you just saw. It made me start meditating on a couple of things. For one, our people really are just hypocritical as hell. And it shows you the curses that are upon us, not only for the individual, probably abuses different substances, or, whatever the case may be. It's a poor man probably out there messed up, but our people make fun of them, have no empathy towards them, not understanding the history, the circumstance behind what put a lot of our people in that position. And just the fact that he was so desperate for that $5 that it could tear his world apart like that. I'm not saying you're wrong to laugh at it. Okay, it was kind of funny. Not going to be over righteous or anything, but it's the perspective of our people that do things like that see videos like that. It's nothing but a laugh to them, and they don't see anything past that. The comments, they be laughing, making fun, blah blah blah, mocking, and it's like, well, listen, not only that shows you the curses of us being evil, having an evil eye towards each other, the hypocrisy of our people that virtue signal and claim to love the community and give back, but this is what you're doing. But also, most importantly, dealing with prophecy, that's going to be all of you. That's going to be you 2/3 Jakes and Eves in the near future. All right? We forewarn you of Jacob's trouble, a time like no other. Great pestilence, plagues, famine, tribulation, adversities, hell that you're going to be catching. And our people don't give a damn. Our people don't care at all. So that's why I wanted to start with Luke 6 and 25. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. And at this point, y'all not even full no more. You're feeling the effects of the economy collapsing, your currency being devalued. Soon, that's going to be you begging somebody for a dollar, begging for change, willing to give up your ass, dead ass serious, willing to give up the box to your landlord. People taking advantage of you, robbing you. Diego's night all over the place. Real evil times, real evil things coming to our people, first and foremost. Destruction is coming upon you because while you had yet liberty, pursuant to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9, you despised the 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 mercy of the Lord. You completely took this grace period for granted. So the Heavenly Father is going to bring all manner of evils upon you for your iniquities, your unapologetic pride, shamelessness, your unbridled lust, your rebellious mindset. Woe to you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Right, when that's you, when you turn to the bottle, when you turn to the pharmaceuticals, as many of you already are on antidepressants, and you smoke your whole day away, drink your whole day away, working every week, every day just to get to the weekend so you can go club and bullshit and vomit on the street, go and mess with somebody that got probably a STD, committing adultery, all manner of shit, just to wake up on Monday, do it all over again. Aimless, You are about to mourn and weep. You're already feeling the beginning stages of it, the beginning of sorrows. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because you refuse to hearken unto the voice of the Lord. This is, oops. This is, let's do this. Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Right, the scriptures speak about taking advantage and abusing the poor and how evil that is, because that's his life. That $5, that shit meant everything to him. You don't know what you just did to that man. Even as a joke, you're adding stress to his already stressful existence here in Babylon the Great. Lord knows, a lot of people are homeless. You never know. People be having gym memberships and they're surviving, but they ain't living no life. There ain't no life to live. Going from house to house or sleeping in your car, having to watch out for security. Rolling by saying you can't park here. And you got to you got to stay on the move. No place to really rest and lay your head and cook a home-cooked meal and do your laundry. This shit is aggravating. This shit is demoralizing. A lot of people, average people, you would never even think are homeless, are going through that type of shit. You take it could be the most something that doesn't really mean anything to you, but you take the damn $5, or you take, whatever, and that, people are on the verge of really breaking down, of really crashing out. Could make their whole world crumble. That's why, brothers and sisters, you got to be careful. You got to understand the times that we in. All that road rage shit, arguing with people, talking that shit, out here looking for attention seeking, trying to, not being discreet. Them days, well, first of all, we should have been discreet. We should have been, in and out, get home, don't be gallivanting around. That should have already been a part of our nature in this place. But now, especially, the times are far more evil than ever before. Let these people have that shit. That road rage shit, no. That, talking shit, running the fade, blah, blah, blah. These niggas not running fades. All these YNs out here. Everybody got a damn gun, concealed carry. They don't give a shit about anything. If the dude had a damn little piece on him, he probably would have used it on his ass. Shot up his damn car. while he playing around. Or if the Lord put a spirit of vengeance on the dude, gave him some some strength, some adrenaline in him, at that moment, he's like, you know what, fuck that. Run super speed, bust up in that car, and ruin his goddamn day, ruin his week, maybe take his life. You gotta, you people gonna learn to stop tempting the Lord. You're gonna learn to stop playing around. The hard way. And that's just a general thing. Like, you don't persecute and make the poor's life even harder. That's all they've been doing to us, because really, we represent the poor, the remnant of Yasharallah. Israel in general, of course, being in captivity and under the curses, but the remnant, the elect, the hopeful elect, I don't want to say we're part of that number. We are the poor that the scriptures speak of, for real. And what Esau has been doing is oppressing us, defrauding us, mocking and just making our lives a living hell, forwarding the affliction. And the Lord don't take that lightly. The Lord hears the poor man's cry. And those responsible for their affliction will be judged severely. Because there's no need for that. What kind of shit is that? You got one up on somebody, you go ahead and mock them and kick them while they down. Like, what kind of shit is that? Especially a poor man whose life is, they live in a whole different life from you. They already got, shit is already bad enough. They don't need somebody messing with their shit, playing a fucking joke on them. Like, Jake nowadays is saying more and more, ain't shit funny for real, because we really out here fucking struggling. Ain't shit funny, bro. At his expense. Wasn't shit funny to him. These pranksters too. Like, you pranksters and you people that think shit is so funny, bro. You want to make a joke out of every goddamn thing. Hey, the joke's gonna be on you. Let me grab that. Alright, because, man, the Lord is going to start laughing at you people. Derision. And we're going to get the meaning of derision. Right? There's a couple of things, but there's one that I want to get. Probably past it. Quick view. Psalms 2. So this is going into the heathen, but I mean, we could use that. We'll just use this one. Psalms 2 and 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Ooh, okay, I'm sorry, but we'll still grab that. We'll still get the interlinear for this word derision. Strong's H 3932. Laig. To mock, deride, ridicule. To mock, have in derision. To laugh, to scorn. Laugh, mock, yeah. But the one I was actually looking for actually said laugh. Proverbs chapter 1 in verse 24. Because I have called and you have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. This ties really directly with 2 Ezra 9, doesn't it? Because it essentially says the same thing. They have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and those that, received benefits from YAHAWASHI and yet have not known him. Okay, the same must know it after death by pain. You're going to learn the lesson the hard way. The Lord had the gates of mercy open unto you, and you regarded it not. Right? Verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Right? Going into having somebody in derision. Laugh and mock. You know? And that's cold. That's a cold spirit to have. But it's going to be a justified recompense, because y'all was laughing at us. In Luke 6, like I said, those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. We're the ones that hunger right now. We're the ones that mourn right now. We're the ones in pain and suffering right now. It's only right that when the judgment comes and the end is here, we're going to be good. We're going to be enjoying ourselves. We're going to be at peace because we have YAHAWASHI, and we sought the Lord while he may be found. But everyone else, they was laughing, mocking, joking, eating, drinking, like as in the days of Noah, while Noah had to work, put that work in to build that ark and gather them animals and gather his family. Right? They was mocking him. They was, man, nobody worried about that. That ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. I'm not worried about it. Or I don't believe in that book. That's a white man's book. All types of contradictions and madness coming out of our people's mouths. Because they do not fear, they do not regard the Lord whatsoever. So what the Lord gotta do, he gonna reverse it. The elect gonna be good while everyone else suffers. It's only right. Because where words don't teach, adversity will. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. And that's what's going to happen. Now, this is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, right, when we was being besieged. All right, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head, a donkey's head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Right? So, and then it goes into the account of them eating, 2 women basically cannibalized a child. They ate one of their sons. And the other woman with the other son, she ran off on the plug. She's like, hell no, we're not eating my son. Fuck that. And then, the king was like, he was just like, God damn. Verse 30, he said, and it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. So he was just like, oh my God. Just hearing that, I'm like, bro, y'all ate y'all son. He's just like, just rent his clothes. A sign of, mourning that we would do. Just tear our shit apart and be fasting, put ashes upon our head. Because that must have been such a fucked up thing to hear. It was not, it was just like, oh my goodness. And that's the king, and he can't do anything. Because they're being besieged. It's like, what can you do? But we're coming to a point in time where this is coming back in a major way. All right? People are not going to have no choice but to cannibalize each other. Alex Jones said it, said it best. Yeah, I would eat my neighbors. I'll eat my neighbors. Yeah, my children are starving and there's no food. Yeah, I would eat my neighbors. Straight up. And he ain't lying. Because the Lord's gonna, hey, it's gonna be a spirit out here. It's gonna be spirits of vengeance out here. Evil spirits, demons, all over people. It's gonna be a nightmare in real life. A horror movie, non-stop. People gonna be so hungry. Money not gonna be good for shit. They're gonna have to trade people, trade different things. And if you too weak or you can't defend yourself, they might just take you. Women are gonna be spoils, booty. Trust and believe they're gonna be bartering their daughters and sons. Human trafficking. Pimping people out. I mean, look at prison, how they get down, how cutthroat and ruthless and nasty prison is, and then take it to the outside world. Like, take that to just the streets of America. All types of homeless people, niggas in prison coming out of prison, women in prison coming out of prison, you know, police officers don't give a shit no more, you know, veterans, ex-military, whoever, not giving a damn, hungry, thirsty, lust unbridled. It's gonna be real evil. They show you these things in The Domestics, The Purge, okay, Mad Max. There was another movie, I forgot what it was called, but it was this Edomite woman out in the desert, same type of Mad Max scenario. She thought she could trust these people. Fall asleep, wake up, chained up to a goddamn pole, and her leg is missing. Hey, they show that on The Walking Dead as well. People cannibalizing. They're like, we gotta keep you alive. The meat gotta stay fresh. So they're gonna chop you limb from limb while, you know, they gotta keep your ass alive. Like, that's when the meat is the most tender. That's when it's the best meat. You know? That's nothing new to Esau. And this devil's gonna come down with great wrath. It's not gonna be nothing to him to tap back into that primal, carnal, wicked, nasty, filthy instinct of his. And Jake gonna have to get down and dirty. These people, this is why our circle is small. It's a small sanctuary scattered all over, you know, Babylon, of the remnant elect, because who you are, who these people really are, will come out when shit gets tough. They'll show you they ain't never had no love for nobody. You know? They'll betray you like nothing. They're gonna take that chip like nothing. That charagma when it rolls out. They're gonna be desperate. They have no integrity. What they've always wanted to do is gonna come out. That guy you think is your friend, he's gonna take you. As soon as the opportunity arises to where he can do it with no consequences. Niggas is already doing it now. Shit happening on trains, people just sitting there recording, bus stops, on the bus. Nigga just went and stabbed that chick from Ukraine. These spirits of vengeance, I don't know how you don't fear the Lord. I could never understand how people don't fear the Lord. It's insane how deceived and prideful people are. But going back to the 2 Kings 6, in the AMP, verse 25, now there was a great famine in Samaria, and they besieged it until a donkey's head was sold for 80 shekels of silver, and a fourth of a cab of dove's dung for 5 shekels of silver. Now these footnotes say the purpose of a siege was to starve out or weaken the inhabitants of a fortified city, minimizing risk to the attacking army. The success of the siege depended on whether the city was sufficiently stocked with food and water. Here, with a famine, not only does the city fall well short of adequate provisions, but those inhabitants who have a surplus of anything edible or useful make the situation even worse by engaging in price gouging. What you think is going to be the result of that? People just going to be like, nigga, fuck you. We hungry and this is what you going to do? To try to capitalize off the situation? We not going for that. Let's jump him. Let's roll up on this nigga. We running up in niggas' houses. They see what your garage looks like. They about to come through. Your security system, that shit gonna fail you. That shit gonna get bulldozed like it did in the purge, like the not the first purge with the niggas, but the actual first purge movie. They had the security system. They had the neighborhood. Everybody. That shit didn't matter. They gonna bulldoze it down. They gonna drive straight through your garage and grab up everything. You get in their way at all, you better hide, because they gonna kill you or take you. Okay? Now, we're in a modern day siege. You know, you have food deserts. Jake don't have access to shit like that. Alright, all of his goddamn chips and cookies and Kool-Aid and bullshit, fake ass processed sugar and madness. So this shit's not even gonna fill you up or do anything nutritious for you. The water is polluted. Niggas still don't got clean water coming out their faucets. How are they showering? How are they brushing their teeth? Well, soon they're not even gonna care about the quality. They're just gonna want something. And then it's gonna come to a point where they're not gonna have access to anything. When people have nothing to lose, they lose it. They're gonna get real desperate. They start doing things they never thought they'd do. Man, it's gonna be really ugly out here, man. It's gonna be real ugly, real scary. Very scary, very scary. Apparently, the famine was so severe that the inhabitants were purchasing products that were barely edible, as well as being ceremonially unclean, right, against the law, unlawful. A donkey's head. What are you eating? You know? And then cab of dove's dung. It says 1 cab is about 2 quarts. Wow. Normally, dung was used as fertilizer or for fuel. However, in this verse, dove's dung may be a nickname for a wild pea-like vegetable. Is quarts not a liquid measurement though? But regardless, it ain't. It like I said, shit was barely edible and unlawful. So these are the things, and then the quality of the food, according to the prophecy in Ezekiel, is basically the quality of human shit. Eating our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. Right? So regardless, that's the reality of the scarcity of food, of bread and water. In Revelation 6, a day's wage is going to buy you 1 loaf of bread, if that. That's how serious at times is gonna. That inflation, price gouging, it's gonna rub everybody the wrong way. People gonna be real irritable, real hungry. that shit gets real dangerous. This is Lamentations 4 and 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sought in their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people, like we just read in, or briefly summarized in 2 Kings. That was 2 Kings, right? Yeah, chapter 6. So, look at that. The Lord hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire into Zion, and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. You know? So it's that bad. It's really going to get that bad. Look at how he described this. Their visage, verse 8, their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. So you that skinny, you that weak and frail and hungry, your body eating itself. Hey, being fat is going to be, you know, it's not going to be good for you. You think you're going to be okay during a famine because your body's going to be eating a bunch of the fat. Well, you're going to be nauseous as fuck. You're going to be nauseous as hell. You already can't run. You already can't really do anything. Alright, you can't do much if you're fat. And then people are going to be like, man, that's a whole meal right there. They're going to be eating you up. Edomites, they love that fat, that grease. They're going to cook you up, cutting off pieces of your stomach and your arms and shit. It's just going to be so ugly. It's going to be so scary. That's why we're warning you. We're warning you. You need to get right with the Lord. You need to repent. You need to be aware of these things. And you need to be aware of how the Lord delivered us throughout history. What the Lord required of us. The faith that was required of us. In the AMP, Lamentations 4 and 8, their appearance is now blacker than soot because of the prolonged famine. They are not recognized in the streets. Their skin clings to their bones. It is withered and it has become dry like wood. Seeing your people like that on a mass scale. All of our people, everyone walking around skinny, weak, running around, shanking people up, shooting people. You see somebody grabbing a bitch by the hair, taking her to an alleyway. You see children just sitting on the ground crying. Some nigga comes and grabs them. Like, yeah, I got me a meal tonight. People are gonna be like zombies out here, just straight up eating people, taking bites, chunks out of people. Everyone crying, screaming, all types of explosions and broken glass everywhere, dead bodies in the streets. Old, young, don't matter. It's gonna be real evil. Really, really scary shit. Just off hunger alone. People get hungry just off hunger alone. It gets really, really bad. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Men shall be afraid. Mighty men of war. Muscle-bound, bodybuilding ass niggas. War veterans, whatever. Like, bro, I never thought it could get this bad here in America. Don't get me started on places like Miami, New York, Las Vegas. These niggas are degenerate for free. It's a Tuesday for these people in a lot of places to be engaged in all manner of folly. Imagine when, out of necessity to survive, they need to eat, or they're just feeling like being a demon. They just want to take their anger out on someone. Already people do this shit under a green tree. People get murdered and raped when resources and amenities are still available now. And you really think you're gonna be safe when shit runs dry. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Scriptures say, father divided against the son, mother against the daughter-in-law. People shall friends fighting like enemies, people betraying one another. People already don't get along now. That's why it behooves us to really build up our faith and trust the Lord through every scenario, to remain in the Spirit, separate from our enemies, and take heed of our friends. The Lord is taking us through a proving process. Now is not the time to be distracted, to be out here trying to get the bag. These things is not going to help you. You want to still sit here and debate doctrine. Like, come on now, man. And then the last one I wanted to get was 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. So not only a famine of bread and water, but a lack of the ability to hear the word of the Lord, as it was once readily available to you in the form of these video epistles, in the form of the prophets on the highways and hedges, in the form of, contact via email, text, this, that, and the third. That's about to be gone. And people shall run to and fro, looking for the fountain of living waters. You're not going to be able to find it. But those that cleave unto BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI now, early, have him and will have him according to his loving kindness and mercy, that continue to trust in him and do not forsake him, that are suffering for Yahawashai's sake now, so that we can rejoice in his return later, soon. So Lord's will is edifying. RAWCHAA. Hey, keep enduring, keep fighting the good fight of faith. Mashana Gabad Laha Malaakiam Wazakwaniam Shal Rachab Gadal Mashana or Shalom Wabarakim Al Nawa RAWCHAA Anachna Wahaya Shalha Bachayar. And blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Thamyad, Wa, LaAwalamyam, always and forever. Shalom.